Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I got a few articles to talk about, and they involved Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, and Moldova, and it seems like Transnistria. Now it's useless to say that there will be something happening over there, since the Moldova is a little bit pushed from behind by the same sponsors that push Ukraine from behind, and obviously Russia keeps an eye and push their forces in Transnistria from behind. So see what's going on over there. This article comes, I have like three of them, but they talk about the same thing. So I will start with Associated Press because the title sounds more It's from September 1st, 2022. Lavrov warns Moldova about threats to peacekeepers. Or Reuters, Russia warns Moldova not to threaten its troops in breakaway region. And I have another one over there, but nevertheless, let's go. September 1st, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned Moldova on Thursday that threatening the security of Russian troops in the breakaway region of Transnistria risked triggering military confrontation with Russia. That's exactly what the West wants. But since Moldova is not a NATO country, not a European Union country, it's fair game, isn't it? No, because Ukraine wasn't a European Union country either, or a NATO member. So, Russia has stationed peacekeeping troops in Transnistria since the early 1990s, when an armed conflict saw pro-Russian separatists wrest most of the region from Moldovan control. Russia says its army is there to maintain peace and stability, but Moldova warns Moscow to withdraw its forces. Oh, Moldova wants Moscow to withdraw its forces. I think it's going to warn them, like, hey, if you don't take it, we're going to... Yeah. And I'm quoting, "Everyone should understand that any action that would threaten the security of our troops in Transnistria would be considered under international law as an attack on Russia, as was the case in South Ossetia when our peacekeepers were attacked by former Georgian President Saakashvili," Lavrov said. The incident in 2008 resulted in a 5-day war in which Russian forces seized several Georgian cities. Shortly afterwards, Moscow recognized South Ossetia and another Georgian breakaway territory, Abkhazia, as independent. That was an early Ukraine, but the West did not move. They had a so-called advisor of military advisors, and they sold Georgia a lot of military equipment. I don't know if it's a lot, but military equipment, American, US made, Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and Boeing, one of these three, or a lot of them. And I think there was a provocation, an early provocation from Saakashvili, who, by the way, he was educated where? In the United States of America. So we have that, and then Russia smacked them fast, and then they say, you know what, we had this, that was by UN, the peacekeeping mission, the Russian peacekeeping mission in Georgia was approved by United Nations. So in South Ossetia and Abkhazia, nevertheless, Georgians received a green light probably from, or not really green, maybe like yellowish, greenish, and then they say, let's go. And then they killed some Russian peacekeepers over there, and they smacked them. And the West did not really, they did not move a finger at that time. It was too early. I think there was a test, but unsuccessful for the Georgian side. Transnistria, which relies heavily on Moscow for support, reported a series of sporadic attacks in April, further raising tensions that were already high, following, where is that? I lost it. All right, following Russia's intervention in Ukraine, which borders Moldova. So I'm going to the other article from Associated Press and see as the same statement, obviously. So what are the chances of a war over there? I think they're very high, elevated, and I think it depends how the the sponsors, which is United States and its vassal states, decide to act. Now, if they think that they will gonna have Russia open a second front, and they will then the Russians will have a problem, I will refer you to a video that I made yesterday regarding the Germany's defense chief, Zond, something like this, is a general, and he said that Russia is perfectly capable of opening a second front if it wants. And the same, he said that Russia has tremendous pile of ammunition and is not going to run out of weapons and ammunition anytime soon, which contradicted another weasel from, not that this was a weasel, he was just funny looking, but nothing wrong with that. I might be funny looking too, but who cares, right? So he contradicted an article that came the same day from The Insider with a I don't know, an author who said that Russia is going to run out of ammunition, shells, airplanes, and I think it was vehicles, militarized vehicles or something like that, and by the end of the year, which contradicts the German general. So I don't know, one of them got it totally wrong, and I think that the insider got it wrong. Armored vehicles, that's what it was. Now, got it totally wrong because the Russians already proved that they can do it, and I just looked, I don't know, a long time ago over the Russian capabilities, like how many fighter jets they have, and they were about, if I remember correctly, more than 2,000. So more than 2,000 fighter jets. Now, it's true that not all probably are operational, not probably, certainly, but they use here about 400 around Ukraine, or whatever, the border. The Ukrainians claim they hit about, I don't know, 250 or something. So what? That would get to what? With 650, let's say 700. So you still have at least 7 more hundred if you consider, let's say you have 600 that are unoperational. And I'm very, very generous. So at 700, they just, you know, and pilots as well. They claim that Wagner Group flies the MiGs and how do you call it, the Sukhois. Yeah, right. Like they don't, the Russians, because they have a shortage of fighter jet pilots or whatever. They have, I don't think so. They would be like what, 300, 400 that would be in the air, not even at a time. But you know, these guys think that we are tards and they act accordingly. So let's going back to this Transnistria. The Transnistria always was a problem over there for everybody. Except Russia, obviously, and nobody will dare. If I don't know who will do something to those. Probably would be some how would you call it? You know, provocations and even some shootings over there, and that's all the Russians are waiting. Once that their troops will be shot at. What the going on here? Once their troops will be shot at, or the Russians consider that their troops are threatened, their security, safety, and all that, I think they will give warnings, and the warnings will mean nothing, and then probably it's going to be a little kick of Moldova, and then everybody will say, see people, we told you Russia will not stop with Ukraine. Russia will go. The next one is going to be Romania, the next one is going to be Hungary, the next one is going to be, I don't know, Czech Republic or Slovakia, then Germany, then France, then Spain, then Portugal, then Atlantic Ocean, then United States of America. And then it's going to shake hands over the Pacific with China, blah, blah, blah. You can imagine how infantile this reasoning is, but they speak with an infantile audience, so what do you expect? I'm waiting. The same as the situation in the Balkans, you know, with Kosovo, Serbia, all that. Boom, pretty soon. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.